With around $250 million behind you, you pin a route density map over the city grid and mark the broken courier pockets by hand. A failed delivery notice on an apartment door shows how one missed stop can gut a dense route. You buy the neighborhood route for $5 million, and the seller hands over a paper route sheet smudged with curb codes. The old dispatcher stays in your circle, two-way radio pressed to his chest like a weapon. 10 vans come first. A chain of custody envelope crosses your palm as you buy the messenger company that still runs court filings and bank bags. You take the dispatch center, strip the dead dispatch board, and install live route planning where radio chaos used to sit. Near the industrial belt, your fleet director raises a hydraulic lift under a battered van and claims the garage. Barcode scanners replace driver excuses. Branded uniforms hang in a quiet row before the first corporate route. Across town, a national parcel network drops a delivery quote so low your sales lead curses under his breath. You buy the medical courier firm and put trained custody drivers beside specimen coolers. A reefer unit hums while you close on the refrigerated van operator serving kitchens, bakeries, and specialty grocers. After midnight, you step through the crossdock near dense apartments as cages split parcels by building cluster. Cargo bikes roll into your central business district hub, messenger bags slung over handlebars. The old dispatcher ranks impossible delivery windows on a clipboard, and you cross out the ones that would burn drivers. A fenced parking lot corner becomes your curbside microhub, with parcel handoffs and battery charging inside the chain link. Prescription bags enter your network when you buy the regional courier holding pharmacy contracts. Behind a pharmacy counter, the rival's exclusive deal takes the largest chain off your board. You carry a lab kit into hospital procurement and push sales toward clinics, labs, and independent pharmacies. Prescription bags wait under dim depot lamps. Holiday parcels hit your sort cages after you buy the peak subcontractor serving national parcel carriers. Return labels become a business when you acquire the processor handling apparel and sneakers. Your warehouse systems leader opens the WMS screen, and merchants connect inventory, picking, delivery, and returns. A windowless dark store joins the network with cereal shelves, produce coolers, tote carts, and riders outside. Blanket wrap covers a dining table as you buy the White Glove Company for furniture, art, and designer goods. You install parcel lockers across apartment lobbies and campuses, then hand property managers the new pickup codes. An exception alert flashes red while you confront the old dispatcher over fixes he kept off platform. Smart intercom access becomes yours when you buy the Apartment Tower Technology Company. A load board fills with inbound pallets as you acquire the freight brokerage feeding city depots. Pallet labels sit in silence before the morning routes. Port containers move under your name after you buy the drayage operator serving terminals and rail yards. Customs brokers walk you through bonded warehouse cages, while imported goods wait behind stamped gates. A PI integration puts your same-day service inside merchant checkout instead of beside a ringing phone. Drivers practice van turns and cargo bike stops in the training yard you acquire. A parcel carrier veteran spreads a sortation plan across the table, and you recruit the operator on the spot. The old dispatcher takes the control room chair beside the national-grade operator, jaw tight, radio still in reach. Grocers, pharmacies, hospitals, fashion retailers, and property managers crowd your merchant council table inside the depot. You negotiate package room control with landlords, then place staff, lockers, label printers, return bins, and cameras inside towers. Reusable totes stack beside grocery crates when you buy the firm that collects, sanitizes, scans, and redeploys them. Depot chargers come with the fleet operator, and your electric vans get parking with power capacity. Charging cables glow blue across the sleeping depot. A broken temperature seal on a clinical shipment costs you the hospital's trust in one cold morning. You accept removal from sensitive clinical routes and carry the refrigerated tote back through the loading bay. Under stricter custody checks, you rebuild credentialing around temperature loggers that drivers scan at each handoff. You place clinical trial boxes with independent labs, forcing medical volume around the rival pharmacy deal. A city transport commissioner hands over curb permits, and your small EVs enter the restricted downtown zone. Beside a stripped competitor van, you peel old decals while the rival founders cross your depot floor with their route keys. The live city map climbs across the command center wall as you stand under van icons, bike icons, locker flags, and cold chain alerts. The old dispatcher reads an alley note aloud while you type the exception into the command system. Your enterprise lawyer carries the contract in. You bundle inbound freight, storage, pick-pack, same-day delivery, returns, lockers, cold chain, and white glove service. Contract folders sleep on the conference table. Through a New York City apartment lobby, you station package room staff beside medical campus runners. Under a London congestion sign, your microhub crew rolls cargo bikes out of a fenced garage corner. Paris gets quiet electric vans first. Tokyo starts at the convenience store shelf, where your timed couriers take narrow delivery windows as orders. Singapore begins at a high-rise dock. A rival driver drops a dead scanner into your bin after your depots, lockers, chargers, and package rooms take the street underneath him. Your operations chief clips an event credential to your jacket before citywide deliveries start moving through closed streets. Fashion Week passes hang from white glove bays while your crews blanket-wrap designer trunks behind the venue. Cold coffee stains the dispatch counter. Sports event crates roll from your hub in timed waves, with drinks and medical supplies marked for each gate. A medical conference badge gets you into the service corridor where regulated samples enter locked routes. You press the depot charger live, and the first electric van glides past cargo bikes, lockers, cold rooms, and return cages. A landlord keycard clicks across the counter when you secure apartment package rooms citywide. An inbound freight pallet rolls from the retailer dock into your network, with storage, picking, same-day delivery, and returns under one roof. After the rival contract cycle opens, your pharmacy lead brings the contract back to the counter. Across the acquisition map, your finance chief marks another $250 million of courier firms, depots, cold chain operators, locker assets, software, and chargers. Midnight air hangs in the depot. You push a grocery crate into the overnight staging lane beside prescriptions, hanging garments, port pallets, and inspected returns. From the command room, you run an integrated city logistics platform with live routes moving under your hands. Your dispatcher console lights before dawn as you queue vans, bikes, lockers, cold totes, and package room crews like sections of an orchestra. A temperature logger lands in your palm after Scale exposes another failed clinical handoff. Hospital receiving clerks scan a locked tote while you stand beside the dock and rebuild sensitive route credentials, one route at a time. Chain controls tighten around the specimen cooler. You assign pharmacy cold runs to medical drivers who can read a temperature log without guessing. A cracked van windshield stops the fleet cold when city permit officers arrive at the garage. Beside a damaged cargo bike, your safety lead runs new curb drills for riders and van crews. Your insurance manager brings the claim file. You stamp one fleet-wide claims routine across each depot. Before microhub expansion resumes, you make each driver repeat curb entries beside the permit board. A leaked route sheet with an access code makes you revoke each off-platform building shortcut. You replace the printed codes with smart intercom workflows that log each door, courier, and delivery window. Your audit team enters the residential tower package room with cameras rolling and the report open. The freight elevator waits empty. A lobby camera still reaches the property manager's dashboard while you rebuild access one tower at a time. Sort cages choke the depot after peak labels fail, and you start clearing parcels by route family. With a barcode scanner in hand, your warehouse lead reconciles failed scans before retailers bring volume back. Temporary workers move to corrected thermal label lanes under your floor supervisor's raised clipboard. Driver manifests leave the depot earlier for holiday routes under penalty clauses your team can no longer shrug off. A labor lawyer lays the driver contract on a folding table outside the depot, and you renegotiate pay, schedules, benefits, and subcontracting before routes restart. Your labor expert plants a protest sign against the depot fence while you rebuild driver pay and shift bidding. A regulator's letter lands in your gloved hand, and you replace loose subcontracting with written benefits rules. The old dispatcher keys the two-way radio only after logging the exception under your shoulder. You take the clipboard from dispatch and cross out the favorite driver swaps. On the wall map, the dispatcher pins old alley knowledge, while your planner names each route rule. The dispatch board hangs under fluorescent light. Hospitals get your first answer to the rival pharmacy lockout, with couriers lined at the pickup window. A prescription bag moves from an independent drugstore counter into your evening route tray. Lab networks sign after your medical lead seals the first lab kit under audited pickup. New York starts at an apartment tower where your routing team groups floors, doormen, freight elevators, and parcel rooms before the first van leaves. Your permits chief reserves a loading dock near the financial district. White glove crews carry a luxury garment from a New York boutique while your supervisor checks the appointment tag. Across the medical campus, your cold chain lead adds hospital wings to the route book. Manhattan curb scarcity enters the price when you pin a failed delivery notice beside the delivery window chart. London begins with a fenced microhub under congestion charging. A cargo bike takes the London core while you cut van miles from the route plan. Your fleet chief parks an electric van inside the low-emission zone before diesel routes lose access. Cargo bikes rest beside a silent bus lane. Corporate reception desks in London accept office supply boxes from your high-value route crews. Paris opens when you walk into a fashion house and book delivery by appointment. A quiet electric vehicle threads the strict Paris streets with your city planner beside the driver. Blanket wrap covers a framed piece while your white glove crew enters the Paris apartment. The appointment calendar fills with premium retail handoffs, each slot tied to a named courier. Tokyo starts with a delivery window printed on the driver manifest. Convenience store shelves become pickup points when your Tokyo manager labels the first parcel bin. Near the rail-adjacent neighborhood, your route engineer breaks dense blocks into walking loops before assigning riders. Your Tokyo trainer rejects a blurred proof-of-delivery photo and sends the courier back for the clean handoff. Singapore opens at the port terminal, where your hub team meets containers before city sorting. A high-rise lobby gets refrigerated totes, grocery crates, and parcel lockers under one delivery captain. Cold room doors glow in the Singapore dawn. Your Singapore broker ties the container yard to regional routes before the trucks roll inland. Fashion Week hands you the designer garment flow, and your dock crew tags racks before models arrive. Dock appointments are staffed before the crowd barriers go up. A pallet jack drags sports freight through your consolidated hub while foreign crews look for their cases. Your medical team seals each chain of custody envelope for conference specimens under audit. The fully electric urban depot opens when you press the depot charger live. Beside the locker bank, your operator joins vans, cargo bikes, and cold rooms under one dispatch voice. A return label hits the electric depot belt, and your inspection crew pulls the first damaged sneaker. Load management software staggers overnight charging, while your fleet lead stages morning routes in silence. Route density maps become network design when you pin stop clusters against depot capacity. Your new network design leader takes the route rack and rebuilds sortation by wave. Route rack labels sit full before morning dispatch. A fleet director walks the tire rack with you and takes command of maintenance, insurance, and safety. The WMS screen links scanning, inventory, and returns, while your warehouse lead tests a failed pickup. Your warehouse systems leader mounts a pick screen above merchant data feeds and locks each order to a route. Your insurance broker spreads one fleet policy across the hood beside you, and you circle each premium still priced like a tiny depot. You stack replacement bumpers by model and approve one van spec. A property lead brings dense neighborhood depot leases while you mark the blocks near apartment clusters and late pickup stores. Your fleet director chalks night clocks over the lift bays while you clear the repair queue. Across the conference table, you cross out scattered customer contracts and approve one enterprise rate card for hospitals, grocers, and fashion retailers. Branded uniforms arrive in gray bins, and you make each acquired driver change before the afternoon routes. You clip ID badges onto the merged crew. You press the Proof of Delivery app into a driver's scanner hand. A branded jacket hangs from the uniform hook beside the lockers. Your dispatcher adds fragile handling behind signed delivery receipts. You price timed office drops above cheap mileage. Bank bags cross the counter only after your clerk scans custody beside you under the branch camera. Court runners leave after you stamp the filing pouch. Your cold chain chief opens a reefer unit beside you, then drills pharmacy drivers on logs and locked totes before first pickup at the hospital bay. Under the loading awning, you jab a temperature probe into the first rejected grocery tote before the driver rolls out. Meal kit ice packs clatter into lined bins, while your refrigerated lead checks the route shelf against the kitchen pickups before dawn. Before sunrise, bakery crates join the morning wave under your dock supervisor's hand while you clear the van lane. You sort building clusters into separate cages nightly. A label printer spits window codes while you split the morning dispatch waves by tower entrance and clinic hour. Beside the route racks, you plug e-bikes into charging outlets while the cross-dock crew stacks small parcels for the morning cycle runs. The roll-up door stays shut. Subway stairs cough up messengers, and you load court documents into black bags at the bike hub before traffic traps the avenues. Fenced parking lot corners become reload points when you bolt the first bike stand down beside the attendant booth. Containerized storage lands on garage concrete after you buy the unused corners and chalk handoff lanes beside the pay station. Your lot manager unlocks a driver restroom, and you point the routes toward longer street shifts without sending crews back to the depot. Evening windows tighten when your pharmacist signs on the pad beside you. A pharmacy tote gets age checks after you refuse the sloppy doorstep handoff outside the first apartment tower. Home medical supply boxes enter the health lane under your supervisor's manifest. Clinical trial packages ride audited lanes after your compliance lead seals the cooler and walks the hospital pickup with you. Overflow routes from the national carrier come across the bay door only after you prove the vans can clear peak blocks without abandoned cages. Peak teams climb apartment towers with parcel carts, while you station supervisors in the lobby beside the freight elevator. A carrier lawyer reads the penalty clause aloud beside you, and your route analyst pins each missed stop by lane on the dispatch wall. Parcel cages tower in the empty aisle. Returned apparel hits the inspection table before your merchant team releases refunds from the warehouse bay. Poly mailers snap open while you move clean apparel through reconciliation stations beside the returns lead. Fraud check tags split the bad returns from the clean refunds under your returns lead while you bar the gray pile. Under inspection lamps, your crew turns returned sneakers over while you reject the scuffed pairs before merchant credit. At a folding table, you plug merchants into API integration, while the warehouse lead matches stock status with route status line by line. The merchant dashboard replaces emailed spreadsheets when you make the first store connect live beside the picker. Customer tracking links open on the support lead's tablet beside you, showing return condition beside the failed delivery note before the call starts. Pickup requests fire from checkout, and your dispatcher stops waiting for merchant phone calls. You stock cereal shelves inside a dark store and claim the neighborhood grocery rush before the riders arrive. Riders lean on tote carts outside the windowless warehouse, while you count open slots by the roll-up door. You park produce coolers near the dispatch door and assign riders through the lunch surge. A rider waits beside the diaper shelf while tote carts line the dark store wall. You back the liftgate truck to the curb and drill two-person crews on carrying a sofa without scraping the hallway. Room of choice tags go on designer goods while you pin each appointment to an elevator slot. Before the luxury client signs, your crew marks the damage inspection form and you refuse the rushed handoff. You crack open the furniture crate. You send the installers upstairs with bolts and felt pads after the white glove truck unloads. Parcel lockers rise inside apartment lobbies as you stand beside the landlord and test the first door. Campus return slots click shut under your hand. Across transit stations, pickup codes move from your access manager's tablet to the locker doors before the evening rush. A grocery clerk pulls open each parcel compartment while you empty the van load into the store bank. You issue temporary codes through the access platform and kill the old route sheets with lobby passwords. At the concierge desk, you walk building staff through package room workflows until the morning pile has lanes. Your driver scans the lobby reader beside you, and the access log catches the delivery clean. Locker cameras blink behind locked glass. Pallet labels change hands at the regional warehouse gate while you broker the freight into your depots. A box truck noses toward the dock, and your dispatcher matches the appointment before the driver idles. Carrier rate sheets land with your pricing lead. You cross out the lanes that burn fuel. Load boards feed the urban routes after you claim the tight freight from outside the city. Near the port, you take chassis pool calls and move containers toward the warehouse corridor. Customs brokers sit across from importers while you trade terminal favors for earlier container pulls. An import container opens at your dock, and your final mile crews break the goods into city routes. Bonded cages take the uncleared merchandise under your warehouse manager's lock. Your customs broker presses the stamp before you release the first pallet. Beside the broker desk, you clear inspection times with the partner while the floor keeps moving. You tie a pallet tag to the sample load and sell city brands the import-to-door run. The bonded warehouse hums under white lights. A checkout button appears beside same-day delivery after you force the app team into the merchant flow. Delivery quotes pop before the dispatcher phone rings. Customer notifications travel through tracking links while you stand with support and cut the blind calls. At the commercial training school, you recruit drivers between orange training cones and dented practice vans. Scanner holsters hang on each belt before the volume hits. You make new hires scan, rescan, and explain each miss beside the route cage. Safety vests flash in the yard as bikes and vans drill curb stops under your fleet director. An insulated bag opens on the training table while you test cold chain handling with the instructor. Hazardous material placards enter the driver school, and your trainer adds the warning script to morning drills. The COO lays a service-level agreement beside the old dispatcher, and you make both men mark the same route promise. At an alley gate behind a bakery, the old dispatcher names the shortcut, while your network chief turns memory into route engineering. You bring the doorman desk into the access rules, with names, freight hours, and package room quirks locked down. The freight elevator schedule rests beside a closed alley gate before sunrise. Around the depot table, you convene grocers, pharmacies, hospitals, landlords, and online merchants under one roof. You slide a grocery order across the depot table and make grocers redraw the delivery windows. Hospital badges line the table while you accept tighter clinical route rules from the nurses. The property manager dashboard stays open as landlords mark the package room service they will tolerate. Return bins stack beside e-commerce brands while you make one standard for labels and refunds. Under a security camera, your trained team takes over the apartment package room before the first courier arrives. A label printer roll spins inside the residential package room as you print tower labels by floor. You lift reusable totes from the grocer loop and scan each one back into the run. Reusable crates hit the wash line before you sign the sustainable delivery contract. You redeploy insulated bags from the rack across meal routes. Meal drivers fill the ice pack bin beside you before cartons pile up. Sanitized totes dry beside the depot chargers. At the perimeter hub, you stop long-haul trucks at the restricted downtown edge while your crews break freight into clean city loads. The rider beside you takes a branded cargo bike into the bus lane. At your nod, dispatchers send electric vans from the live city map. Weather alerts flash red while you move depot crews, locker refills, return cages, hospital routes, and cold chain drivers without raising your voice. Before dawn, you stand over the command screen as vans, bikes, lockers, cold totes, and package room crews move across one live city map.